So the doctor got on the phone and he started listing off all of Sean's injuries. And Sean had a lot of injury, a lot of injury. The driver stated to the police at the scene that he had had from 12 to 15 beer in an hour. The driver was not injured. My son was critically injured.
I have not been able to talk or walk in 6.5 years. I use this computer to communicate. How could this happen to me? A prisoner of my own body.
Accidents involving a drunk driver are frequently very severe accidents, and that's because often they involve a driver who is impaired driving a vehicle, who loses control of his vehicle. These are often accidents that occur at freeway speeds, and they're very unexpected because you may have the other driver spin out in front of you at freeway speeds. You may have the drunk driver driving the wrong way on the freeway, and some of these injuries are horrendous. I had a couple cases in particular that occurred on the freeway involving a drunk driver, which involved a wrong way driver. And in one of these cases, a young couple was driving on a freeway at night, going home from their restaurant, and a drunk driver driving on the wrong side of the road at a high speed collided with the front end of their vehicle in a head-on collision. The young woman suffered a severe fracture of her leg, and her husband had minor injuries. Luckily, we were able to recover against the other person's policy fairly quickly. Their policy was only $400,000. I believe her case was worth over $1 million, but we were able to get her a good recovery. She had surgery on her leg, but she recovered well. And this just shows you the types of horrendous injuries you can have. Another matter involving drunk drivers, which is important to understand, in the state of California, you must have liability insurance. If you do not have liability insurance on your own car, you usually cannot collect for what we call pain and suffering damages. You can collect for your medical bills and any loss of earnings and property damage, but you cannot collect for pain and suffering, disability, things of that nature. But when you're involving a drunk driver who caused the accident, there's an exception to that law, and that exception allows the client who does not have liability coverage to collect even for his pain and suffering. I had a case recently like this where we had a drunk driver who was out of control. His car spun out, hit my client. My client had lost his job a few months before and could not afford to pay for his car insurance. He had no car insurance whatsoever. My client suffered a shoulder injury, a fractured nose, and other assorted injuries. And he was fortunate in this case that the other driver was a drunk driver because he was able to collect for all of his injuries well over $100,000 because of the fact that the other driver was impaired. But everybody should carry liability insurance and not hope for the fortuitous circumstance that the other party is impaired, either drunk or on any kind of drugs. But again, these are horrendous injuries, and we have represented many clients with regards to these types of accidents.